What women don't understand is men beat themselves up harder than y'all can ever imagine, right?
Good for him.
So if you don't, if you stay true to that, we gonna live with that regret with the rest of our lives.
Good for you. I'm gonna say this: if that's what he tell me, that's what it is. If he can't look me in my face and mean that and say, look, I want to marry you, but I'm not gonna only be with you.
You do just go in on him having sex with another woman, like that's all we. But sometimes, I'm just saying, like, you could be hard to talk to. So the woman at his job is so easy to talk to. So he ends up just talking to her all the time, expressing his feelings to her all the time, and he develops emotional connection with her, and neglects the wife in that aspect. So he's not with her, but he's just his wife.
Good, everybody, it's your boy Mac Mall back with another reaction. Make sure y'all smash the sub, and remember, it don't cost you nothing to push your button.
Most women, because he broke her vows, she still maintained hers. It wasn't about that he was still taking care of, because most men came home and gave the woman all the money.
Yeah.
He kept enough to drink and cheat with and gave her all the money so she could pay the bills.
Facts.
Most men in that time didn't pay bills. He gave her the money and she paid the bills. She went grocery shopping.
But it's not her money.
But this what it was about. I took a vow before God. And this vow is a covenant. I'm not breaking this covenant because my husband cheated. She wanted to maintain her dignity even though her husband didn't. She wanted to maintain her vows. Her pride came in saying, I never broke my vows. He did.
Tell him, OG, tell him.
Today's women want to get even.
Preach.
The women before you didn't want to get even. She got even by not doing wrong to you. And in the process, you felt horrible as a man.
Facts.
You stopped cheating. You stopped lying. You started confessing your wrongs to this woman because you saw her do no wrong. That's how you beat the man. That's how you beat him. You can't beat him. You can't beat him getting even with him. You'll lose because nobody shames a man for being a whore, but they'll shame you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, who want to go on the first take?
I want to hit Phoebe. Go, Phoebe, because Phoebe got cut off last time.
She got to get that Wi-Fi together.
I know. My phone kept kicking out. I had to get on my laptop.
Yeah, my shit acting up. I agree with what he's saying. I do. I don't know what else to say to it. I disagree with what he said.
See, good woman. One cheat back on him. That's me too. I ain't got to cheat. I'll bounce.
Same.
After he cheat is over with though.
No, they say she don't even leave. She don't cheat back. She don't leave. She keep doing. She fulfill her vows.
Yeah.
He broke them already.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. He broke them. She doesn't give her the right to break them herself because he broke them.
What the fuck? No, y'all don't
no. But hold on. Because if you believe in the afterlife, you have to account for your own sins. So if he go out and cheat, that's on him. But then you can't stand at the pearly gates like, oh well, yeah, I did. I committed adultery because he did it first.
No, I'm not saying cheat, but it's over. The relationship over. I'm gonna still be there for my kids.
But check this out though. He is completely right because you can get that can be your ultimate get back at a man and maintain your femininity at the same time because, like I said last week, what women don't understand is men beat themselves up harder than y'all can ever imagine, right?
Good for him.
So if you stay true to that, we gonna live with that regret with the rest of our lives.
Good for you.
And think about this. When you look at the older generation, I'm talking about a generation or two before us, those men and women still had that bond where it's like they pretty much faithful with each other. And those men actually look out for them women because they stayed true to their vows.
Well, the man needs to stay true. Don't be cheating on me.
Hey, let me ask you this. Anyway. Y'all fairly young females, right? So I know y'all speak a lot about if a man cheat, I'm leaving, right? So at the age you at right now, just say you meet your husband, right? And y'all get married. And you plan on being with him until you die. you know everybody on this panel got about at least 40 more years, at the very least, right? If you stay in good health, you got the very least of 40 more years on this earth. Do you think that you're gonna be with one man that's only gonna have sex with you for 40 more years?
I'm gonna say this: if that's what he tell me, that's what it is. If he can't look me in my face and mean that and say, "Look, I want to marry you, but I'm not gonna only be with you." Save all
No,
that headache. Won't you
but
just
no,
stand
what
up
I,
on the front end?
okay, but what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. A man doesn't intentionally cheat. When we get married, we love you, but people change. He might fall short to a lustful desire. That don't mean leave him. That don't mean he's a bad person. That just means he stepped out. You don't leave your man for that.
I'm beyond. Yeah,
Oh, well,
guys don't
that's
get
your man. You don't leave your man for that. My man gonna learn. This ain't that. I'm moving on. I'm gonna get my own place over here, and you can think about that all on your own. Cause ain't no way you over 40 and you ain't got this figured out. If you know that's what you're gonna do, just say that. Why is you lying?
Men don't know what they're going. That's what I'm saying. We go into it with every good intentions, but what I'm saying is people change. You see what I'm saying? And
So you
think.
change.
No, what I'm
That
saying
means
is
it's
this.
not a principle.
What I'm saying is this. People change every 4 to 6 years. You change as a person, right? The things you like now, you might not like then. But the thing about it is I married you and I made a covenant to stay with you. So even though I may fulfill my outside desire, that don't mean that's where I want to be. I want to be with you. You the one
Okay,
that
well
I'm.
then, if you can't tell me that just like that, it's a wrap on your word with me now. Now your word means nothing to me. Now, if that's what you want this to be, then that's what it is.
Okay, so if a man stayed faithful to you for 15 years and then cheated, you would leave him?
Yeah.
I got a deep question.
You would destroy your whole
You would
reality.
destroy 15 years of a loyal man
How
for
am I
one
destroying
time?
it? Why is it on me when that nigga the one cheated? How did I destroy anything?
I got a deep question
Don't
for
his
the.
good outweigh the bad though? At
Then
that
I
point, his
don't get
good should
how he
outweigh the
did it in
bad.
the first place. This is what I'm saying. Whatever his reasoning, if his flesh was so weak, it's something he could have did.
Man,
Just like
it's
if he don't kill
biology.
nobody. You can grown people now. We don't want to take accountability for being grown. If you so weak minded that you cannot not have sex with somebody else without letting me know. Now, if you call me and said, "Look, man, my flesh weak and I'm about to make a move. I know I vowed to you I wouldn't. That's what I'm about to do." I'm like, damn, you know what? When we get home, we're gonna talk about that.
Hold on.
If he does not do that,
I got a question for everybody here. I got a question.
This way you kind of delusional. I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry, Miss Vita.
That's fine.
She said, okay.
No, I had a question for the panel though. In your own words, what is cheating?
That's a good question.
To deceive, to lie in my face, to do a thing that you know you could have done something else to intervene before you went all the way. Because if I could come home and say the same thing, or I slept with somebody, I couldn't help it. It wasn't none there. I still love you though, babe. Come on
Okay,
now.
so hold on. You said after you lie and you deceive. You said that
But
first
you
and
can't be a
foremost.
man of your
No,
word.
hold on.
Hold on. You understand the repercussions of your actions.
I'm going somewhere with this real quick.
Let everybody get let
You're
everybody
going,
get their list point.
Hey, y'all go ahead. Give me 2 minutes.
You're
I'll be
going
right
straight
back.
to the physical. You're going straight to the physical, but you just brushed over the mental and the emotional. Okay. And under that criteria, I can honestly say everybody cheat.
Okay.
No matter who you are.
Yeah, you gotta make it a little more specific. Like, what do you consider?
The deal breaker part that is magnified the most is the physical part, the physical nature of cheating. Okay, we all understand that. But if you can't express if you as a woman can't express your feelings or your authentic feelings or your thoughts to your husband, and you feel it's better to do it somebody outside of him, you're cheating.
I agree with that.
And the same criteria goes for a man. So when we speak on cheating, we have to look at it in a broad view. We just can't put the magnifying glass on the physical part and magnify that, saying, okay, that's the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's where this conversation gets very tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying?
What's Satira? What's your classifications on cheating for you?
About that, because we do just go in on him having sex with another woman, like that's all we but sometimes, you know, I'm just saying, like, you could be hard to talk to. So the woman at his job is so easy to talk to. So he ends up just talking to her all the time, expressing his feelings to her all the time, and he develops emotional connection with her, um,
Yeah.
and neglects the wife in that aspect. But he's not with her, but he's still treating his wife because he's
Okay.
developed. So yeah, I agree with that because even me, I'm more so with the physical, thing is cheating to me.
And women have work husbands too. Now we're not going to ignore that part either. Now,
I've never had a work husband.
Me neither.
I don't,
But
yeah,
okay,
I
I
don't play
know
that work
some
husband
women
stuff.
do. Some women do.
Miss Phoebe, what do you consider cheating?
I'm gonna agree with the last statement that was made. I think it's more mental to me. If you get to a point in a relationship, the sex can be good. The sex can always be there. But if
Yeah.
that safety net, that comfort, that mental intimacy, that mental stimulation or whatever, if that's gone,
Uh-huh.
it's very hard. You know what I mean? Because
What if
sex is
it?
an act. Sex is an act. You know what I'm saying? You do that, uh, what it lasts? 30, 20, 30 minutes, if
it's an
that.
act that feel good though. We gotta admit that.
Right. And
It's
it
good.
is,
It's
but
good.
it's temporary. It's temporary, right?
Yeah.
That's a temporary thing. You
Mm-hmm.
get the urge, y'all do y'all thing, it's over with. So now after that, are you all able still to sit there and communicate and talk to each other? If it's a thing where you feel like you're more vulnerable with another individual outside of the relationship that you have, then that's a problem. And that's on both sides. If it's your work
And,
husband, work.
and JB can back me up on this one because, and I say that from the perspective of being married and him being married in your wedding vows that says to forsaken all others.
Mm-hmm.
And too many times, and I highlight that part. The overall is that how many people, generally speaking, have other people all up in their relationship
Mm-hmm.
when it's designed to supposed to be between you and who you committed to. You know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
that's where I say
I was
everybody
gonna
cheats.
I was gonna ask, if that guy is emotionally stimulating you, give you everything that you desire, mentally, physically, financially, the whole nine. And let's say you find out that he cheated on you. It wasn't nothing serious. He didn't get connected with the female. What are y'all doing? You're happy. You're happy. Nothing is going wrong in the relationship. Everything is fine. What are you doing?
We're human. Everyone makes mistakes.
What are y'all doing?
I don't know. We gotta sit down and talk. We have to sit down. I'm probably gonna be silent for a minute.
I know you're gonna be mad, but what's gonna
I'm
be the
gonna
end
be
of it?
silent for a minute. I mean, we got to sit down and talk about this. Like, what was it that led you to do that? You get what I'm saying? We need to figure out what the problem is because no, um, I don't think right now, and I've been
And
fortunate. I've not had this come up in my relationship, but I I can't say if I found out he cheated one time, I'm just gonna up and leave. We got years, we got property, we got kids, we got family, we got all this invested. What happened?
mm-hmm.
What happened? Because maybe it was something that I did.
No,
Not
no,
that it's
no,
an
no, no,
excuse.
no. It's
No,
not.
no, no. Not that it's an excuse, but maybe it was something. Maybe it was something I was slacking on. You get what I'm saying? Why did you felt that you was this comfortable to go over here to this individual? You know what I'm saying? I feel like at that moment
Get it.
we need to sit down and go back to the drawing board, as they say. We need to hash it all out. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about this so we can try to keep this from happening again. Now that's
Okay.
just me.
Okay.
That's just me.
So Tara, what you think? What you doing?
If I'm happy and he's providing for me mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, and
Yep.
he happens to make a mistake,
Mm.
I'm not leaving.
Okay. Miss Vita?
Yes, I'm going to leave him because of the simple fact this, right? It's
Wow.
not about the act. It's about whatever mental setup you had to put in your mind and in real life to do that.
Okay.
And you
And
lied. You
and I
lied to me to
you
do it.
know what? I hate to say this. Where I'm trying to get at with this is that a lot of women don't understand just biology in general. in a man's nature. I'm not telling you that man is going to cheat on you, but it is in a man's nature to still seek other women. I'm not saying he's gonna be chasing cat, this and that, but it's
sorry. I'm laughing at LeVar changing his back, like moving around.
Oh, the background.
Yeah, I hate to admit it. I am currently at my place of employment, so I'm trying to be very discreet. So
I understand 100%. That's what's up.
My bad, y'all. I had to get the shorty out the crib to her mama, man.
Respect. It's in a man's nature to still appreciate the attention from another woman. And I'm be honest, I think women would be a lot better off if they just kind of already have in the back of their mind that their man has the potential to cheat, and it's a possibility he will cheat. But if he's taking care of you, he appreciates you, he makes you happy, he tries to make sure the family's good, you shouldn't even be looking. You shouldn't even be looking for stuff like that. If it's not popping up in your face.
Right. So if it do.
That's what I mean by not coming home, because I mean, it sounds so bad, but like I said, it shouldn't come home. That's my that's my biggest thing. But do I believe that one person is going to be faithful for 65 years, something like that?
Oh, no sleepovers, huh?
And I'm not saying I'm going to just up and leave either. Like, I'm just
Most women are built to still stay with their man after they get caught up in the situation. Now, if you got a dude who's a habitual cheater, or if he's doing egregious things and you're finding out, you're seeing it, he get a baby on you, you probably gonna leave.
Like the Offset shit, just steady getting caught and shit.
How do you know? How do you know if that's not who he is from the first time he went and did? I don't get, why does he need all this slack? Now let me throw this in there too, JB.
This is you being delusional with men though.
Wait, hold on, JB. Let me throw this in too. Okay. I believe in polygyny. Like I believe in that. But see, the difference is how forthcoming is the man before he does the act. Y'all, what you saying is let him lie or let him not be forthcoming at all, go cheat, and then I'm supposed to be all super duper understanding. Well, now you had to say from the beginning was this might happen.
What I'm saying is,
well, let's keep that as an understanding.
You gotta understand the nature of men. See, y'all don't really see the dark. No, you don't, because you don't see the dark
understand
side.
the nature of a man.
You don't, even if you look at when you go on a military.
You telling me I need to be okay with being lied to? That's what you're saying.
If you look at this on a military perspective, on a world level, the things that happen that you do not know about, you couldn't fathom. You couldn't.
Yes, I could.
No, you can't, because you don't understand the real nature of men, the things that we actually do, the secrets that we have to keep y'all reality and fantasy land.
Okay.
We have
maybe not
me
land. Personally. Maybe not me personally. My whole family military. I'm telling you, it's a whole bunch of stuff I know that I'd be like, oh my God.
What the hell was that I just saw?
If people only knew this.
Looked like I just saw some thighs or something.
Man, mom, boy, I
know that was a lot of cake though.
I was trying to get something to drink.
Well, I saw some thighs with some fries, baby.
That was a lot of cake.
I think I see them say. I see that 2-piece special right there, man.
LeVar popped up because he's seen this.
Stop that.
Hey, where we at? 119. Okay, I want to get into the last discussion, man. I want to discuss some politics right quick, man. For our last discussion, I want to get into some politics. So I'm gonna play this last clip, and then we're gonna get right into it.
Donald Trump, no matter what you think about him, is the only president in my lifetime, no matter how crazy or extreme his promises is to his base, he attempted to fulfill every damn promise to them. You gotta be straight up and give him credit for that. Donald Trump, though, has an end game that's on a whole nother level, in my opinion. This man has flirted with the idea and even publicly said it, I could run for a third term. There's ways to do it. He doesn't have to run for president. Just switch roles with J.D. Vance, the vice president, and Trump run on the Vance ticket as the vice president. If Trump runs as Vance VP, then Trump goes right back to the White House with Vance victory. And all J.D. Vance got to do is say, I'm stepping down to become vice president. Then my VP becomes the president. That's how Trump can become the president on a third term. Simple as 1, 2, 3.
Hey, your clips be epic, bro. The music and shit, they be intense.
Appreciate it, bro. So I want to know what y'all think about Trump, man. Do we got any Trump supporters in the building? Any Trump supporters?
I'm
not
neutral.
against
I
him.
know politics is ain't number two wings on the same bird. All of them is in the same bed. There's no difference.
I would agree to a certain degree, but I'm gonna tell you like this, right? And I say this all the time when we talk about politics, right? Because I just kind of like for the last couple of days just looking at it because I'm starting to get interested in politics. But from me growing up as a kid from the 90s, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s and shit, I noticed from my own eyes, my observation that every time a Republican is in office, everybody is doing good for some reason. And every time Democrats is in office, we are fucked.
Dollars, yeah. A gallon, yeah.
I noticed that. Like, I come from the Ronald Reagan era, from the Bush era. You feel me? And street niggas was eating. Like a bad day back then is a good day today. You see what I'm saying? Like I saw, like even with people can talk their ass off about them PPP loans, whether they fuck the money off or not. It helped a lot of people,
Bro, it did.
whether they fucked it off or not.
You know what? To that point of what he said, I can see the vision from this aspect. I think it was an old video. I think it was Gerald Ford when he was asked at a school if there was ever going to be a female president. And the same way he illustrated and said, I can see her being like a vice president, and the initial president would get ill and would have to leave office, and that's how she would get her name on the ticket to be a president. And in this past year election, the same thing played out with Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that, but it would have to come at a tragedy, like you said, with what's that, JB Vance or something like that.
Yeah,
JD Vance.
I just think doing the campaign trail or something like that. The same sniper that supposedly missed with him will not miss with JB Vance, and he'll be a president for a third term. I just see it happening that way for some odd reason, you know.
It's definitely possible. For me, I didn't want Kamala to win because she's a woman. A woman don't deserve to run this motherfucking country, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that I don't believe that a woman should run our country. It will make us look weak. And them other countries, Putin and all them, they're not gonna sit down with no fucking woman. They gonna be like, nigga, y'all need to get y'all shit together. We not sitting down with no woman. We are all alpha men, and when we sit, that's why they respect Trump more than any other president. Because Trump is the first real alpha president that we've ever had, in my opinion, since
Hey
I've
man,
been born.
these three ladies
Besides
don't put you
Bush.
behind that, man.
Besides Bush. Now I ain't gonna lie, Bush was pretty alpha to me too.
Yeah, Bush was too.
So how do y'all feel about the them getting rid of the immigrants and shit, putting them out? Y'all for that, or y'all? What do y'all think about that?
I feel bad for some of the kids that lose their mom or dad. Like, that's sad. But I think women are too emotional to run the country.
Well, I understand what you're saying. You a Christian?
Me?
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. Well, they say we cursed as black people right now. That's why we in the state of mind we is for the motherfuckers that did that shit. The whoever cursed God back then. We paying for that shit now. So get them and they kids the fuck out of here. That's how I feel. Fuck them kids. Get them out of there. All of them.
I think the immigrants really was a ploy by the politicians to kind of manipulate the voting system. Because they were
what it was.
They were transported. When you go back and look at it, they were supposedly migrated to the major cities that had the biggest minority turnout. Talking about Chicago and New York. And when you look at if you look at the electoral college, it was already going to California and Texas, but it didn't impact the electoral college none. So they went to the states that had the biggest electoral votes, which was New York and Illinois, and that changed the thing. that changed. That's shifted everything because they was like, okay, we got Florida, that's traditionally a red state. If we could just get that one back, and Florida never shifted from being Republican. The only one that shifted that caused all this domino was when Georgia went from a red state to a blue state. That's what changed the whole dynamic. And so I think it was a ploy because it's funny. Capitol Hill is full of Republicans now. Presidency got Republicans now. Now they booting them up out of here. It's just you can't sequence of events cannot be denied.
I definitely agree with the fact that they tried to play a numbers game because you got to understand black people as a whole, we're at the bottom of the totem pole right now when it comes to voting and having a voice. We so divided as a people that our voice don't even fucking matter no more. On top of that, we got social media. What social media is doing for the black community is just taking away from the actual hard working man because these new generation of black men would rather get on TikTok and make a dance or get a podcast or rap or play sports than rather be a plumber, electrician, a gardener, the shit we need in the world to make the world go around. These immigrants are willing to do this kind of work, right?
Mhm.
So if we pull these large amount of groups of people in and make them vote Democrat, we can eliminate the black vote because they shit don't matter no way, and we can use the numbers from the illegal immigrants to keep us in office. That's what I felt like they did, and this is why they kept giving these special programs and they close. So I don't know what it is in Atlanta, but so what they did on the west side of Chicago was they had a 20-year plan 20 years ago, and we wasn't even paying attention to this shit. The first thing they did was they built new police stations. If y'all look at out west, we had all new police stations started about 20 years ago. They started building, right?
I remember that.
So then what they did after that, they started closing down the schools. They act like they didn't have funding for the schools and shit, and then they start closing the schools because what happens is, as a black family in these poor neighborhoods, you don't have transportation like that. So if you close down the school, that forces you to move somewhere else where you can commute back and forth and get your child from school and shit. So they cleaned up those areas like that, right? Then they raised the taxes on shit. You know what I'm saying? And they pretty much was just wiping us out to bring this new generation of people in that's gonna come with these traits and all these skills and shit that black people don't want to learn. Like, I mean, let's just be honest. We talked about this, JB. Like, females don't even want a nigga to take them to the Cheesecake Factory. So
Hey,
obviously, right there, that's telling you. And then you have most women saying, I wouldn't date a 9-to-5 man. So these, when I was coming up, these 9-to-5 men were men that had good standards. They had, they was a bus driver, a policeman, or a nigga that went to the military and some shit. Those were good jobs back then. CTA workers and shit, like plumbers and shit. Now they looked at it as, this nigga a 9-to-5, you a plumber? Damn, that's it.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Hey, Jamal,
you feel what I'm saying?
Jamal, to expound more on what you said, you can look at the approval of Section 8 housing as another domino effect. Like they approve like here in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? They approve more Section 8 out in Romeoville, Bolingbrook, Aurora, Plainfield, and stuff like that. So optically, you're in a very nicer neighborhood if you're an urban person. But then you come back and look at the city, man. It's like, okay, they didn't fix Madison up. They done fixed up a lot of places around.
They want the west side back. The west side of Chicago is the best side because it's closer to downtown. It's closer to the expressway. It's closer to the lake than any other part of the motherfucking city, and that's why they regentrifying the west side. If you look now in our old neighborhood, there ain't number Mexicans over there. They done bought everything, bro.
Oh, Jamal, Jamal, because I work where I work at, and I'm stationed out south. I see the south side being built up, and the crazy part is, do you know outside of the city of Chicago who the second company or corporation that has the most property in the Chicagoland area? University of Chicago. They done bought up Old Block. They done bought up everything around the lake.
Where I'm at.
Yeah, they done bought up everything around the lakefront. They buying up over east and stuff like that.
Everything,
and then now they're talking about building. This is why not to put it off on sports. This is why that Chicago Bears new stadium deal is being floated around that's taking those so long to get finalized because they're trying to keep it in that area to build up the city. But in order to do that, they got to get a lot of the old riffraff out of here, in different neighborhoods or even outside the city.
I will say this, just to piggyback early on, I think when it comes down to what Trump is trying to do, especially with the whole government assistance situation, I know a lot of people know that's been going on with like reducing it or cutting um a certain amount of it. I think what it could help is the mindset of the black community to where, we start kind of sticking together more on a family level. The children to the elders, people actually working together as a unit instead of being so separate. I feel like we adopted a separatist mentality to where, once your kid get old, all right, go ahead and do your thing. Your parents, hey, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. I think people really need to start working together, and then we can really start building things for the future. That's what I think needs to happen. If it can be some type of autocorrect system to spiral off from that. But
Well, we
all these niggas from the age of I would say 10, maybe I would go 9 and 10, all the way up to the age of maybe 28, 29, 30. They all need to go.
I used to say that a lot.
That whole sector of young men is fucked up.
Yeah.
If we want for us to change the future, we got to start with kids 8 and under. And when they grow up, they got to be the ones that change, because these other motherfuckers, they gone, bro.
The YNs out of that. The YNs are lost cause, huh?
Yeah, I think so, man. Like it's the mindset, man, that's spiraling out of control. And once
it's insane.
Yeah, once it's too far gone, I mean, we ain't nothing at that point.
But you know what? As a black man, I say it has to start with us. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're better off at life. We know about credit. We live long enough to know about credit and stuff, and we have to kind of get into a mindset of building up like a coalition to build up our neighborhoods. Like you can't do it overall. You got to start small, and it's like if you can infuse your neighborhood with the 4 central business establishments, man, you can build your neighborhood up. Like this is what I said. If you can we all can pull our money together and get our own bank, that'll go a long way.
Chicago got the longest standing black bank in America,
and we don't even utilize it like we're supposed to.
Yeah, and I was waiting on you to say that, because I was gonna say because it's not the victim mentality too. Because we got to understand, young people can't raise themselves, and if they fucked up, that means we as a people got to know that you fucked up. Like Chinese people don't say that, Mexican people don't say that. Like we got to know if something fucked up, we drop the ball on you.
No, you're right. I hate to say this, but the women gonna have to be on our side too, for sure. We're gonna have to have
but look at this, JB. Men, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Let me just say how women view this, what y'all saying. This is not me, because I never go under the title independent or strong. Even if somebody think that, I say, please don't say that about me, right? I know I can be aggressive and passionate and all that, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm really fall back and I get in line with what we're all at. Okay, I believe in family. I believe in honoring my man. Only a melanated man is what I want. That's it. So, but at the end of the day, women think they can be men or don't have to respect men because men stop building. Men is on the computer 24 hours a day at any given time of day, cursing out women, mad at women, arguing with women, blaming women, single mama that, single mama that. And it's like, nigga, what are you building? What are you doing? Because ain't no other men that when you go in their community, they talking about, look at all these single women. They taking that shit over. They building houses. They taking shit over. All the stuff y'all talking about, they are doing that to whatever degree. I don't care if they swimming here from wherever. They doing it, and the niggas leading them to do it. So it's like when women look at that, they be like, these niggas weak, man. Like they just all they
you do realize these voices of men that you hearing saying these things are only responding because they tired of hearing women say the shit. Y'all been crucifying us way longer, and these are just responses. Now the internet gone, and it's a bunch of men coming together. Oh, you think like that too? Oh, you too? Now they talking. Y'all been treating us like shit.
Even in my generation.
You talking about their professions, or you talking about people who just maybe just like people who are entertained or something, or just the commenters?
I'm just talking about people that get online. 80-90% of podcasters, guys that's online.
That's a small percentage. of men. That's a small percentage of black men. You feel me? Like a black podcaster.
I get you, but y'all,
very
you got to know,
small.
JB, they got the loudest voice. They got the loudest voice. This is what I'm saying, right? Because even when I got on the internet to start listening to this stuff, this is like the last 10 years. This wasn't even like this before that. Okay, so let me just give it to you like this. If somebody had asked me just 10 years ago, where can you go if you want to find men, a group of men that are down in women, talking about women, how bad women are, where would you go to find that? I literally would say, I don't know what that doesn't exist. Like, what group of men is complaining about women? Maybe gay men, but they ain't even thinking about women because they gay. And I'm like, well, maybe men that hate women, but where do they hang out at? So it was just 10 years ago. This was non-existent. This wasn't even a reality to me. How I grew up, like, this shit just changed overnight.
Well,
I'm like, where's
So-
these niggas? They
so
used to
Vita,
know
you
these
let Jessica
saying-
cook, and then I'm gonna go.
So Vita, you saying it's a culture shock for women because now men, like Jamal said, men are coming together and having these conversations, and now that we have these shared experiences, we are more vocal about it. And the women say, hey, they want us to hear to hear how men feel and how you think. And so now that we're voicing it, and it doesn't play into the female's ego, it's a problem.
Let me ask you
It's
this.
not that. It's they not
Is it
building nothing. What
black?
Jamal
Hold on,
just
hold on.
say,
Is
ain't
it,
no plumbers, ain't no this. Them niggas ain't building nothing. Y'all, if we say, what is our men doing as a group, collectively, economically, or just community sustainable, that we can compare it to any other group of men in the world, or we can stand up and say to the Jewish woman, or to the Mexican woman, or to the whatever woman, well, our man is doing this, our man is doing that.
The men you talking about that's complaining, you talking about black men or white men? Which ones are you talking about?
Our man, melanated men, the original men.
So the whole movement with men bashing women online, it actually started with white men. It was a MGTOW movement. That's where the whole red pill manosphere space actually was created from. It was actually white men who were what y'all would call possibly like incels, who were actually tired of like women's nature on the ones who were basically getting dealt with, wrong. That's where it started at. Now, as time went on,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, as time went on, you had black guys join into the manosphere space because they're getting done the same exact way. So then now you have a community because men see the average guy. Y'all don't really think about the average guy's perspective because y'all really don't see the average guy. So you talking about men not being plumbers, construction workers. They're everywhere. They're all around.
Right.
But a lot of women don't want to date those guys. I'm just being honest. You
And
don't.